Hello everyone, and welcome to Victoria's Cantina. Today we're having a look at the Hasbro Star Wars 2014 The Black Series, Obi-Wan Kenobi, based on his appearance in Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Here's a look at the packaging. Alright, so this is our very first version of Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Star Wars Black Series lineup. And for all intents and purposes, I think that he does his job. From a sculpting standpoint, he looks quite nice. For some reason, I can't help but feel that he looks a little bit bland. I don't know if it's the facial sculpt, or I don't know if it's the tablards, outfit. I can't help but feel like something's missing. He's still sculpted very nicely. I mean, the outfit, everything seems to be there. He does look like Obi-Wan from Revenge of the Sith, which is good. But I still feel that he looks a little bit on the bland side. Coloring of his outfit pretty much matches the film. It's a very cream color, with a little bit of red for his boots and some brown for his belt. Very minimal and basic in the coloring. Obi-Wan's physique looks quite good. He does look like his proportions are quite natural, and he does look like he did in the film. Give you a close-up of Obi-Wan's head. For the most part, I think that the likeness is there. I mean, it looks a little bit like Ewan McGregor. But I don't know. I think it must be the expression on his face that seems to be lacking, because there's not really any emotion going on there. I mean, if anything, he looks a little bit shaken, like he saw something and he's like, oh my gosh. I don't know. I mean, for the most part, it's there, but I can't help but feel that they could have done a better job with the facial sculpt and, especially with the paint. Eyebrows are a little bit weird. The beard, looks okay. Hair color, there's some nice reds there, and there's some other shading you can see of other colors, a little bit of gray for the sideburns. Looks pretty good. The outfit, it seems like it's very textured, perhaps even a little bit too much so. Obviously in the film there is some texture, but I just kind of feel like they overdid it with this figure. The belt, looks a little bit narrow, but I suppose, it should be accurate enough. The soft goods bit here on his lower portion of the tunic, is done quite well. I find that it blends in pretty well with the rest of the outfit. It's a little bit more noticeable in the back, but from the front, looks pretty good. The boots are done pretty nicely. There's a little bit of highlighting on them to kind of give them, a little bit of shadowing. In the way of articulation, Obi-Wan has a ball joint here at the head. He has hinges at the shoulders. He has hinges at the elbows, hinging at the wrists. Nice ball joint here at the torso. Hinges at the hips. Double hinges at the knees. And then rocker joints at the ankles. In terms of accessories, Obi-Wan comes with his lightsaber from Revenge of the Sith. And luckily Hasbro did a good job with the look of it. I mean, the sculpt is there, and it clearly is the lightsaber from Revenge of the Sith. They did that right. Coloring on it's nice. The blade is a very light shade of blue, and it's also tapered. If you look at it from the base, it's a little bit thicker than the tip, where, it kind of tapers out. You can also disconnect the hilt like that, and you see the peg there, and you just stick it back in, and it fits in pretty well. Obi-Wan's lightsaber hilt does plug in quite nicely into his belt. And like with Anakin, I find that his hands are a little bit hard to pry open to get the lightsaber in there, but overall I think he does hold it a little bit better than Anakin does. And of course you can reenact the famous duel between Obi-Wan and Anakin Skywalker from Revenge of the Sith. What I do find a bit annoying, though, is the fact that both of these lightsabers are different. Clearly, while Obi-Wan's lightsaber is a very light blue color and the blade is tapered, Anakin's is a deeper blue and, the same shape from bottom to top. Things like that do bug me, and it's kind of a shame that Hasbro couldn't have made these the same, especially given the fact that I'm sure a lot of people are going to display them fighting each other. I even tried the blue lightsaber that came with the X-Wing pilot Luke, putting it into Obi-Wan's hilt. It does fit, but the color is still a little bit off from Anakin, so, it's a bummer that they, didn't have a little bit more foresight in matching them up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so there you have it. This is the Hasbro Star Wars, the Black Series 6-inch Obi-Wan Kenobi, based on his appearance in Revenge of the Sith. All in all, I mean, it's not a bad figure. I do find it to be a little bit lackluster. While the sculpt is for the most part there, I can't help but think that the face could have been done just a little bit better. The detail on the outfit, it's nice, but I can't help but also feel that that's a little bit overdone. It just kind of detracts for some reason for me. Paintwork for the most part is good. On the face, it's a little bit off in my opinion. But I mean, it doesn't look bad by any means. It looks pretty decent. Articulation is quite nice. The elbows I find to be a little bit weird. But I mean, other than that, I mean, the articulation works pretty well. Lightsabers, very nice. I do wish that a Jedi robe would have been included here. I think that would have done a lot for the figure. Maybe even like a little pilot's headpiece or something. All in all, it's a good figure. If you're picking and choosing with Black Series, though, I think this is probably not going to be one of the stronger figures in the series. But for the most part, I mean, it's pretty good. I'm happy to have it in my collection either way. And, I find it to be a passable figure, though I can't help but think that it could have been better. Thanks for watching Victoria's Cantina. Until next time, bye-bye.